I saw God every day working through us, especially through the relationships we built with people in Thailand, whether we were leading children's programs, singing songs, visiting elderly, delivering food, just hearing their stories, worshiping with local churches, or spending time with people. I saw God reminding them that they were loved, seen, and not forgotten, but I also saw Him working within our team. He brought us together with one purpose, which was to serve Him. I saw our acts of service to grow trust within the villages, and once they trusted our hearts of help, they wanted to hear why we were here, and that's how we could always point them back to Christ. This trip strengthened my faith in ways I never expected. Growing up, I experienced a lot of hurt and instability. There were times where I questioned why certain things happened in my life, but over the years, God has shown me that He has never left me. Looking back, I can see His faithfulness through every season, even when I couldn't see it all the time. Going to Thailand reminded me that God does not waste our pain. He can use our stories to encourage others and bring hope. There were moments where I was able to share parts of my testimony, and I realized that the difficult things I've walked through have become opportunities to point people to Christ. One verse that stayed with me throughout the trip was Isaiah 6 verse 8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here I am, send me." That became my prayer during this trip. There were moments I felt nervous or inadequate, but God continually reminded me that He doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies those who He calls. Whether I'm serving overseas or here at home, I want my life to reflect His love and be available wherever He leads me. Before this trip, I thought missions were mostly just about traveling somewhere to serve, but now I understand that missions is really about living a life that reflects Christ wherever He places us. Thailand showed me that missions always isn't about doing big things. Sometimes it's found in the small moments, playing with a child, praying with someone, listening to their story, or simply being present. This experience deepened my heart for the nations and reminded me that God's love reaches every culture and every language. I came home with an even greater desire to continue serving wherever He leads me. During a back-to-school event at a local church, I met a mother and her 2 children, and while I was leading worship, we were singing songs. I think we were singing Lighthouse, and her baby just wanted to be held, so I carried her on my hip during the songs and danced with her and spent the rest of the day with them. Later, through a translator, the mother shared that her husband had recently left the family. She told me that she just wanted a day where her children could feel safe, loved, and just feel fit in and normal for the day. She thanked us for giving them food, school supplies, and a day full of joy. We prayed together before she left, and she told me that she wanted to give her life to Christ because of the joy that was reflected through our hearts. Oh, praise God. And that one reminded me that sometimes the simplest acts of love can point people to Jesus in powerful ways. One of the most encouraging parts of the trip was seeing the faithfulness in the local churches. Even though Christians are a small minority in Thailand, the churches continue to faithfully love and serve their communities. It was incredible to see how they cared for the children and families, opened their doors to anyone in need, and continued to share the gospel with joy. In Bangkok, our leader Noi knew every single elder by name, their story, their needs. She did everything she could to meet that, even when we didn't have the sponsors to cover it. She was always a servant of God. Their faith challenged me to be bolder in my own and walk with Christ. They reminded me that following Jesus is not always about comfort. It's about faithfully loving people and trusting God to work no matter where you are. Well, obviously, I'd say thank you to everyone who supported us through prayer, hugs before we left, and financially. It was such a blessing to just have that community to fall back on and come home to. But I would say to anyone who wants to go, just go. I'm in university. Doesn't make sense financially for me to go, but I just went. I learned a new culture. I learned to meet new people, to see Christ's heart through people, and I just served my heart out as hard as I could, and it was just so worth it. I would just say go and be set apart like you're called to be.